Subscribe in the next 5 seconds or fun time toy spring toy fun time sister location Bonnie gets you. Okay, what the actual? Maybe I'll just send withered toy shadow nightmare phantom gold to Freddy. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. You guys are having a great day. And today I'm going to be explaining the lore of Shadow Freddy, because why not? You know, he's the mascot of this channel, and you know, you might as well know the lore. So kick back, relax, and thank you for watching. So before we get started, I want to say what I used to think Shadow Freddy was. I used to think it was like a manifestation of agony, and I mean I still think he is, but just hear me out for a second. I used to think it was a manifestation of agony, and then I thought he was trying to help the kids, right? And then I thought he was like a manifestation of William's evil, and then he was not trying to not help the kids. And then I thought it was William wearing the Shadow Freddy suit to lure the kids in, which is the most feasible answer, right? But I have a bunch of new evidence, and here's the actual Shadow Freddy lore. So let's get on with the video. I think it all starts at the bite of 83. So Fredbear was discarded, and the agony from the event created Shadow Freddy. My evidence is in FNAF World, Shadow Freddy has a broken jaw, which is mimicking the bite of 83. I think the agony was added on to by the MCI incident. Since the missing children, or the MCI souls, when they're in the FNAF 2 location, the Wizards, they are in the back room, and that's why I think Shadow Freddy's trying to watch over them, and that's why he's in the back room as well. In the Follow Me minigame, I think Shadow Freddy is trying to lure the kids to their killer. The FNAF guidebook literally explains this to us. And for this whole dilemma that Nightmare is Shadow Freddy, I do think it's somewhat possible. I think Nightmare could be haunting Michael for his misdeeds or something like that along those lines, I think in Midnight Motorist, the footsteps belong to Shadow Freddy because, Evans, like the bite of 83, that's what he's created from. And I think Michael just remembers Fredbear, and he just feels so guilty for, killing his brother. So he just, always checks the gravesite and just always runs away. But William hates when he does that. Now, regarding, Shadow Freddy, everybody thinks he's a manifestation of William's evilness because, since Nightmare is somewhat Shadow Freddy, or since they're like kind of the same entity, something, and Nightmare has this voice line in UCN. I think this could easily mean that Nightmare is a more sinister version of Shadow Freddy, just born from the wickedness of William Afton. Now let's talk about Crumpled Freddy from FNAF 3. So if you brighten the image, then it's like a purple color. So this is obviously Shadow Freddy, and assuming this is him after he completed his mission when he helped the children defeat William Afton, not defeat, but he got spring locked, they got their revenge. He, just became a soulless suit, and then the kids got their happiest day from, the marionette. Also, I do not think CC or Crying Child is Shadow Freddy due to, the voice lines of UCN. Just let me play it.
Let me put you back together, then take you apart all over again. Let's see how many times you can be pulled apart.
Mimicking the final words that the Crying Child ever heard before his death.
I assure you, I am very real. This time, there is more than an illusion to fear.
This line doesn't really prove anything about what I'm trying to say, but it does prove that the nightmares are nightmares and they're not physical entities. I do think that they could hurt you in your dreams, though, and they hurt you in the physical world, kind of like in the FNAF 1 movie.
We know who our friends are, and you are not one of them.
Again, connecting Nightmare Fredbear more to the Crying Child instead of Nightmare or Shadow Freddy. I mean, there's another theory that the Shadow animatronics are like Springlock victims, but that would have nothing relevant wise, so let's just move on from that. I think Shadow Freddy was manifested by the Bite of 83, then, got added onto by the MCI incident. So obviously it was confirmed that he was trying to help the kids lead him to the killer, but we know how that ended. And then William mixed them, burned the endos or whatever, and now they all each like partially possess the animatronics. Like all of their consciousness inside of one and three it's kind of confusing, but like the photo explains it for itself. And of course Elizabeth, which is Circus Baby, joined in, and Funtime Freddy, Funtime Foxy, Balor, and Circus Baby all fused into Ennard. But like Ennard became Molten Freddy after kicking out Circus Baby since she was loyal to her father, which is their killer. Speaking of her father, he kind of got spring locked, and then the kids got their happiest day and all that, so like Shadow Freddy's mission was complete. Anyways, thanks for watching, and until next time.